Hey, this is Justin with DayTradeTheMarkets.com on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2013. Hope you had a nice 3-day weekend away from the markets. And in today's video, I wanted to look at the E-mini S&P. I happen to be looking at it on a 1-minute chart, but again, you can use this on literally any time frame that you want, from micro scalping to swing trading type of things. But what I wanted to talk about was using the intraday real-time tools in conjunction with the bigger picture context, so to speak. So, as you may be familiar, we have various pieces of both real-time evidence, which is in here, especially, focusing on what we call our relative aggression bars. Then we also like to look at the bigger picture bias and bigger picture key levels. In other words, try to put some bigger picture context into play. So, heading into today, we had, we're in a down bias. Our bigger picture bias is down, and we have remaining still from last week a selling gap that got eaten into a little bit on the shortened day on Monday, but then we opened up here, and this is an area of expected resistance. And you can see that if we focus a little bit more closely in, at first we had some extreme buying aggression above the high of the remaining gap, or above the low point of the remaining gap. So that's an indication that buyers are making a potential push. And you can see, we always like to ask ourselves, can the low of that bar hold? And it does, and it rallies 1.5 points from there, but we don't get any follow through higher. And then we get back below the low of this level 3 bar. We get several full bars below. We're back below this key level here at 48.50. And you can see that this is also what one of my favorite trades is what we call the level 3 reversal trade, where if the bigger picture bias in this case is down, okay, and you have a level 3 bar on the high of the day that really has no follow through at all and gets rejected, selling right at the low of that bar is a really nice setup. Okay, now that also had some more additional evidence within that as well, and then we had this what we call high velocity move, and then this level 3 or extreme selling aggression bar. Okay, so you can see you could sell the breakout right there, and you can start to see a little bit of buying coming in. But again, the big resistance points right at the high of this level 3 bar, which also happens to correspond, this is kind of that confluence idea we talk about, corresponds with this resistance zone, corresponds with the low of this level 3 bar right in here. So a lot of things coming together, and also corresponding with our filter, which had turned red, our bigger picture bias, which is down. So a lot of things are coming together right there. It's kind of what we call a confluence type of a situation. And you can see we have our real, the kind of the waterfall sell-off here with the high velocity move, level 2, level 2, level 2, level 2, and then a level 3. We start to get a little pushback with buyers in here, and you can see the market trade sideways. Once you actually saw buyers come in, the market traded sideways for a good hour and a half. And then we had another push lower right before 1 o'clock Eastern. You could see a little bit later on then we did get some strong buying that started to come in. You can see when we basically rejected this new low at the time, on the very next bar had a level 2 buying bar, a strong buying. It's telling us, well, potentially, this is a failure at the new low. Some buying has come in. We want to monitor that, and you can see some stronger buying then comes in toward the end of the day as well, before it gets a little wild at the cash close. So hopefully that makes sense. But again, the big point I'm trying to make is using the, in conjunction, using the short-term evidence, so a failure of a level 3 bar, continuation of a level 3 bar. So intraday, that's pointing to a down market. And then inter-day, bigger picture, the failure to try to test into this gap. We're back below it. Our bias is down. Sets up a lot of pieces of evidence that this market wants to sell off. So hopefully that makes sense, and you can, the point being, use this in conjunction with the bigger picture analysis to see if the market's confirming, shorter term what we're expecting, which it certainly did today, about an hour and a half into the day. So let us know if you have any questions about that, and hope you have a good rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon.